I'm India Brown.
And I'm Sidney Wilson.
And we are two Southern gals making it in the big city world where we both work on a Broadway show.
And this is our podcast, Social Cues, a show where we put away our show scripts and stage blocking.
And have real conversations about how it feels being professional performers in a lucrative industry.
One topic at a time. What up, Social Cues?
Welcome back!
Family.
We missed you guys. Did y'all miss us?
You know you did.
I know it.
First of all, check out the new setup, okay? Let us know what you think, thoughts, new season, new setup. We're trying to keep it fresh.
Yeah, trying to evolve, ever evolving, ever
Yes,
growing.
Yes.
Yeah, let us know what you think. You want us up against the wall or you want to see some stuff in the back?
So I'm good. We have some announcements I think that you should start.
Yes.
We have a pretty big announcement.
So a lot can happen in just a few weeks, people. Me and my husband, Dale, the producer, are expecting our second baby.
Baby number 2.
Coming in the spring. So we're super excited about that.
Yeah.
Yes. Lots of things are happening, honey.
We're in the holiday season. You can see our trees and such are up. So a lot is happening.
Yeah. Happy holidays. Happy Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, Christmas, Happy New Year. Happy Thanksgiving from that just passed. All the things.
Yeah. But
yeah, 'tis the season.
Things are moving quickly. Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm excited looking to the new year and the future with just open heart, open mind.
Yeah.
Try not to plan things out so much and just let it happen as it needs to happen.
Amen.
Like go to rains. So
Amen.
That's what's happening with me. So how you doing? How are things feeling? What's going on, baby?
I'm doing pretty good now. The first trimester was a little rough. I was super nauseous and, having headaches and dizziness and trying to adjust to my body changing. So that was a little rough, but now I'm in the second trimester and I have a little bit more energy. And the other wonderful thing is, as you know, I'm no longer performing on stage, but I'm singing off stage. And I just thought that was such a wonderful opportunity for our company to extend to us because, you immediately have this fear, when you're expecting another human being, another mouth to feed, you think about like, oh my gosh, like, is my check going to be cut short? Am I not going to be able to work the entire, pregnancy? So just to have them allow me to still come and be a part of the performance and still be able to work has really been a blessing. And what I didn't realize until I stopped moving, a weight of lifted, like we do a lot in that show. Yes. So, just physically, I'm just a little bit more at ease and I'm feeling pretty good again. I'm not so achy and broken down. So shout out to our company for definitely, providing that opportunity for us to still be a part, but just, take the workload down a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's been really great.
Yeah, that is a beautiful opportunity that we have now. So, okay, and we also have this color on for a very particular reason that you will see in just a few seconds.
I think you're going to get it.
But we have a really special guest to really kick off season 2. Yeah. And into this holiday and into just the new year.
Absolutely.
Super exciting. And
so she has a lot of great things to say.
Yeah. But it was,
and she's in studio, so amazing. This is great. Like we just evolving all around, honey. We got our people in here.
Technologies, new setup. So
so we're super excited to have her. We're going to take a quick beat, and when we come back, we will have our special guest. Welcome back. We have a very special guest. So Sidney and I are wearing purple in honor of the great, amazing Phylicia Pearl Mpasi.
Welcome
to the podcast.
Thank you.
I'm so sorry I didn't wear purple.
No, it's okay. You're a star. You're in the Christmas spirit. It's fine.
Yeah, we got the memo. You didn't. You
yes.
Do what you do.
Yes.
But the nails are giving purple. Always. Praise be.
Yes.
Okay, let's get into this little bio to introduce you officially. Hailing from Silver Springs, Maryland, Phylicia Pearl Mpasi is a creative in every sense of the word. The third daughter born to Congolese immigrants, Phylicia is an actor, singer, and TV writer who received her Bachelor of Fine Arts degree from Elon University. Her resume includes performing in the national tour and Broadway cast of Disney's The Lion King, writing for the series Grease, Rise of the Pink Ladies, and We Stay Looking, and most recently starring in the iconic remake of The Color Purple in theaters this Christmas Day. Welcome, Phylicia!
Yay! Thank
Okay, that mouthful is out. Okay, so we have a commonality, which is that we both went to Elon, not at the same time, but we have the same alma mater.
That's right.
And I always like heard the name and all that, but I had never really connected with you until we got to similar spaces. So the bio was short and quick, but we want to know a little bit more about where you grew up, how you kind of got your start in theater, if you always knew that you wanted to be multifaceted in all these areas, or if it kind of came upon you as you got into the industry. So give us a little bit of that.
Yes, so I'm from Silver Spring, Maryland, and my parents are Congolese immigrants. So being an artist was the biggest no-no in the world. You can be three things as a first generation African American. That's a doctor, a lawyer, and an engineer. Sometimes I let teacher slide, but and my sisters took all the other jobs. So
you have three.
I have three sisters.
Three sisters. Okay.
2 older, 1 younger. Okay. And even growing up, we all knew my younger sister was like a genius. And I was kind of there, just like.
What does she do?
She's a biochemist.
And she's for real. Oh, geez.
Yeah, and works for a job that I like can't talk about. Like that's the level she's on.
Legit. Got it. Okay.
And my older sister is a doctor in Philadelphia who like was instrumental in distribution of the COVID vaccine in Philadelphia, and worked like hand in hand with
really
Senator
dope.
Hughes, who is Shirley Ralph's husband.
Y'all are like a big deal.
Yes.
Cheryl.
Yes.
Wow.
And then my sister under her is a lawyer, and she works for the Attorney General of the United States.
Oh my gosh.
And,
you all are so incredible.
I know. Wow. All raised by a single mom. Like, yeah, my parents divorced.
Oh,
when
your
we
mom
were
should
young,
be so proud.
Oh, she? This is her moment in time. Forget me. This is not about me. So the mandate was kind of just always be great.
Yeah.
And a lot of my dreams, I think, initially as a kid was like first woman president, or like first woman in the, NBA.
Nothing but
like,
just a little president.
And I just remember like TV was a big, almost like a ritual for us, like sitting around the television. Even at holidays, it's like we'll have our meal and we go watch TV. Special events, we'll do something and go see a movie. And I remember,
I kind of feel like isn't that the Black experience?
It's gotta be. Yeah,
most events surround around the television.
Yeah, and I like just distinctly remember my mom's laughter watching like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and like Cosby Show, and I was like, that's what I want to do. I want to bring people joy and like laughter. And it didn't really click for me, at least from an acting standpoint, until That's So Raven. And like Raven Simone means the world to me, and
I love it.
Just seeing like a confident, funny, in charge, like she was so clear on her goals. That character did so much for me as a young girl that I just like, I feel like I framed my personality around her, and I was saying like, oh snap and get nasty, like at every turn. I just became Raven.
How old were you at this point?
10, maybe 11. Like walking down the hallways in the fancy outfits. Like, and I went to private school, so I had uniforms, so I would wear like my own clothes, like until the nuns were like, can you not wear this? You're at Catholic school.
I was gonna say, like, do you add like a flair to wearing like uniforms and stuff in private schools? Like, can you wear the standard whatever blue or dress skirt, but then you can put on like a fancy shirt underneath, or socks that are special? Nothing like that. You have to wear. And I was such a rule follower and straight A student. So I was like, I'm going to follow the rules when it came time, and just get the look. And I'd be like, okay, let me just take this off. Maybe unbutton one button.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the flair.
Yeah. So once that kind of clicked for me, I knew I wanted to be an actor. But I didn't find theater until high school. I got a scholarship to go to my high school. I went to Our Lady of Good Counsel High School, and they had a theater scholarship. And I'd done a program right before that. It was called John Robert Powers, and it was like sign up for our program and you'll be on Disney Channel. And it was like one of those.
Oh my gosh! Yes, I've auditioned for that before.
Yes.
And did they lie?
No, that's true. But yeah, those casting calls, and they call your house, and you'd be like, "Oh my god!" And I remember like being like, "Mommy, wait, can I?" And you'd be like, "I don't know if this thing is real. We could try it." Mine didn't
Sounds
go
like
anywhere,
a scam.
but
right. Well, I got in, but getting in really meant you pay like $5,000 to take classes.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just grateful my mom. What clicked for my mom was that whole great thing was like all of these kids came to audition and they took like 20 and I was one of 20, and she was like, okay, I know this costs money, but it must mean something. she's the kind of mom, I think she like watched my audition and you had to do a commercial.
Okay.
And I was like, what I did Pop-Tarts. Like, mom loves them because they're quick for us. I like them because they have flavor. Pop-Tarts. I think she just saw that and was like, this is a new daughter. Like, who is that? She looks like
my audition was, I'm sorry, I'm just,
please.
My audition was like that, but it was peanut butter.
Peanut butter,
and
okay.
it was like Jiffy peanut butter. I like it like, and I remember because my brother's allergic to peanuts, so I was like, I'm really acting because he can't eat this. Like,
my whole family loves.
And I was like, I was like, and it was a similar structure. It was like, I like it smooth. My brother likes it crunchy.
Right.
Jiffy, like some da 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 da.
Okay, so they were sponsored by Nestle. And
right. I think they were.
Pop-Tarts.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So she's seeing
man.
that in you and seeing this could be a path to greatness other than these traditional careers.
I think also what I've like now told her is it is very taboo in the Catholic faith and in, you know, some African communities, especially our community, to be divorced. And I think her being divorced made her look at the world a different way and just like want greater for her daughters. Because she
so
did
did she impose the marriage thing on you guys, or it was more like you need to be professional women?
She is now. Now she's like, where are the husbands?
Like, well, you got
where
the
are the
professions.
grandchildren? You know, where are they? And I'm like, you told us to be like get our careers together.
Got
first,
it. So she was career oriented.
Yes.
Got
Which
you.
is what we're doing.
Which is what I'm doing.
What do you
now.
want from me?
Yeah, but long story short, got a theater scholarship to go to high school, then get a scholarship to go to Elon. And right before that, I did a program called Broadway Theater Project, where
nice.
again, she got a phone call. She wasn't going to come to our final showcase, but one of the moms called her and was like, you need to come see your daughter. She's like being singled out. She is a star on stage. Wow. And yeah, she came and saw me and was like, oh my gosh, you're really good. And I was like, you think I'm good? I told you. Then got into Elon and got a scholarship. And my path at Elon, I say wasn't typical. I was only cast in one main stage show my entire time there, which was difficult, but only made me have to like think outside the box because it was like $40,000 a year. And I was like, well, we can't waste this money. So I would take other classes. I got a communications minor. I got an economics minor. I would like be in practice rooms and just be like singing when my friends would go to rehearsal. I would like go to practice rooms and just like sing songs or like beg people like, will you read the scene with me? And they were like, Phylicia, class is over. And I was like, please. Ironically enough, my senior year, I think I'd finally figured out like who I was as a performer. And I was like, I don't think this is for me. I think I'm done doing musical theater. I think I'm not a performer. I think I'm a writer. Because I left for a semester and did Elon in LA, where I was solely focused on the production side.
Okay.
There, my boss was like, I was reading scripts. And I would pitch them, like, because they wanted to pick up material. And I would pitch like things that I really believed in that weren't on their mandate. But she was like, you have a really good eye. Let me read your pilot. And I was like, what's that?
So this was kind of like a pivot from the experience in college where you weren't getting casted in any theater programs, or not programs, but shows.
Yeah.
So you deliberately started paying attention to the writing side, or like the scripts, or was it more so just, you know, I'm reading these scripts, I'm rehearsing them, let me just see what's in this area?
It was deliberate. I think Awkward Black Girl maybe had done season 1 or was like, she was in the culture. She was starting to come out. And then
this was like on YouTube.
Yes, on YouTube. And then Mindy Kaling had her show on NBC, Mindy Project. And it was like 2 women that wrote their own shows. Tina Fey had 30 Rock. So I was like, maybe I just got to write my own show. So let me learn how to do that. And that'll be my ticket in. So I went, got a production internship, was reading a bunch of scripts. They asked me to read mine. I didn't have one. So I went home and like wrote it in like 3 days. Literally 3 days.
What was it about? What was the script? Do you remember?
Ooh, I sure do remember. It was about the story of me and one of my best friends in high school. I was in love with him, and he's gay. And like,
you ever tell him? You ever tell him you were in love?
It was like a mutual, like, I have something to tell you, and he was like, I have something to tell you, and I was like, telling all my friends, like, he's gonna say that he loves me. Like, oh my god, it's happening. Like, what is going on? And then I was like, well, you go first. Like, I want him to say it first. And then he was like, I'm gay, and I was like,
You should have gone first.
Ooh. I was like, oh my god.
Were you truly gagged though?
I what? I mean, we would watch like Will and Grace together.
Okay,
I knew the truth.
so-
I think I was like,
It was
come on,
always
girl.
there.
So yeah, then I was like, I'm gonna be a writer. This is what I'm gonna do, and move to LA. And then I think once I released it, and was just so confident in myself, because I was like, I've done everything that I can for these people, and it just doesn't seem like it's working. The week before I graduate, get a phone call saying like the Lion King wants you to go audition,
and you're back to theater.
Yeah, and I'm back to theater. The irony about that is the casting office knew about me because when I did that theater program, I sang "Don't Rain on My Parade" from Funny Girl, and the late Jay Binder, who has always been a champion for me, was like, "Don't sing that song. You cannot play that part."
Wow.
And I was like,
got it. Okay.
but I like it, so I'm gonna sing "Don't Rain on My Parade," and I sang it, and he was like,
I told you.
actually,
good.
Honestly, no, because I've had that song in my rep before, and I feel like it's almost a mind thing to tell because of the. It's just so ironic because that song is like, "Don't tell me not to live, don't tell me not to," and everybody's always like, "Don't sing the song," and then that's your fuel for like, "Don't tell me what to do," and then that's your fuel for the song. I almost think because everybody in theater is always like, "Don't do that song, it's taboo," and it's like,
I was gonna say, what's the point of why does everyone encourage you not to do it? Is
because
it the range
it's a classic
too high,
song.
or?
No, because it's just a classic song, and because of the because it's a Jewish woman. So if
Yeah.
you can't, or it's such an iconic. Like I was told, don't sing it because it's such an iconic song. Like if you know you can do it like to the nth degree, and like
so
you can
this
do it
is-
like
yes.
nobody else. Then
This
do
is
it, but
like
if you
don't do
can't-
Mariah Carey or Whitney Houston.
Yes,
karaoke.
exactly
that
what
type
it
of
is.
Got it.
Exactly
Okay.
what it
But
is.
because of the literal lyrics of the song, like "Don't tell me not to live," like "Don't bring around a cloud to rain on my parade," is like the fuel for it, and everybody's always like, "Don't sing
it's
that
a
song." And then
statement.
you're
I'm
like,
like, wait.
then you make that statement with the song, and you're like, "Don't tell me not to do this song. I'm gonna
Don't
do
tell
this
me not to
song."
do this song.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a statement piece.
So Jay remembered you from wow,
And then he told me when we did our senior casting circuit, you guys still had that, right? Where they come down. He told me, "I'm going to put you in the Lion King." And I was like, okay, all right. I'm not doing theater anymore, but thank you. Get a call. He wants to see me. And I fly up literally the week before graduation. I took some finals early. I did like my juries early.
So you're in your senior year.
I'm in my
college.
senior year. And
Got
I'm just
it.
like, come on, good time. I'm going to go to New
Okay.
York for a couple days. I'm going to have a
Lord.
good time.
The pivot, honey.
Yes, I audition and pivot again. I was originally seen for Shenzi.
Wow.
And I didn't really understand what a swing was at the time, but I just knew like, you just say yes. And I was like, sure. And they're like, can you come
Take
back?
it till you make it.
They handed me some sheet music. Clem was there just playing things on the piano. And I think because I just practiced everything so much, I could like hear it and sing it right back and hear it and sing it right
Good,
back.
yeah.
And had the range. And then they had me dance by myself. I started crying.
Did you ever take up dance as a kid? Like no dance classes?
Mm-mm,
Okay.
mm-mm. Tried. And I was just such a tomboy and like athlete when I was younger.
So you played sports.
So I played, yeah, like every sport under the sun.
Your resume
I
has
played.
like basketball, boxing, cycling,
Word.
Soccer, tennis,
does
lacrosse.
boxing?
Like literally the first, like my mom was like, "You're gonna be the first black girls that play lacrosse like ever," and we were like, me and my sister like were the only black girls on the lacrosse team. And she was like, "That's your ticket to college," and I was like,
How did
"Nah,
you get
actually,
involved at the community centers? What?
I do not know.
Oh, that's
She
really
had
dope.
y'all on everything.
That's
She did.
amazing.
Yeah.
Listen.
And then got Lion King, and feels like the rest is history
Yeah,
because
it's just
Lion King was like a
flooded.
perfect step into adulthood. I think, especially touring. I like was with a company, but I was alone.
Yeah,
so I had to grow up. I
traveling.
feel like pretty fast.
Yeah. So that was a good experience for you, like just traveling
yes.
around, getting that independence. Okay, so now how long were you in the Lion King before your next big opportunity came, like the writing gig or another big acting gig?
So I left Lion King, like the whole Happy Trails, 2017. So I was in it for 2 years.
Okay.
And then because I was a swing, I became a vacation swing where they'd have me come in all the time and just fill in for people. And I did that for another 2 years. Then I finally got to go to Broadway. They made me wait. Finally got to go to Broadway.
Yeah.
And then went back on tour for a hot second. And then pandemic.
Okay.
So I think 2021, I think, was the next like
The writing
big thing,
opportunity.
the writing. But there were things that were going on. I would like enter like pitch competitions, and I'd be like,
Okay.
I'm a finalist. I got to go to Austin, Texas one
That's
time.
really cool.
Yeah, they flew me down to pitch my show.
Now, how did you find pitch competitions? Like, is this something that you like researched online or okay?
Yeah, I Googled, I think really what I was looking for, because I liked writing. I would write, like I wrote a script called Swings, just being in The Lion King, because I was like, oh, what a weird experience. You're like in the show, but you're not in the show. And people would come see me and I'd be like, oh, I'm not performing. I'm so sorry, but thank you for the flowers. And I just like wanted feedback on it. So I think what I Googled was like script feedback, and then through sending it places. I kind of like was, and I think they were also a company. It's Austin Television Festival, and I think part of it was like they would read your script and give you feedback.
That's good.
Which is really what I wanted. And then it turned out I was like a finalist, and I was like, that's so cool.
Nailed it.
There were little things like that, like fellowships here and there, like making it semifinals. I was like, okay, I think I have like something going on.
You got something, girl.
Yeah, and then in the pandemic, I was like, I see that TV and film is figuring it out, so we got to get a job. Yeah. So maybe we should just go full throttle on this writing thing.
Okay.
And was seeking a writing manager, and
you were doing this obviously remotely, like you were. So wait, how did that process go? Like you were writing at home and submitting things to them, and then they would give you the feedback.
Yeah.
And go from there. Okay.
Yeah. So I won a writing fellowship that way.
Okay.
Same thing. I asked for feedback on a thing, like we have this competition. Do you want to enter? I entered it. Won the fellowship. Fellowship tells me we can help make connections to industry people if you want like a manager.
Got it. Then you start getting on like Zoom conference calls and stuff. Okay.
And I didn't even need the fellowship, which ended up being they just gave me the confidence to be like, I can write. But I asked a friend to introduce me to someone in the industry that I knew that he knew.
Yeah.
And she's now my manager. And she really is my manager because I was making YouTube videos in my basement. And was like convinced I was going to be a viral YouTube star. I was like, that's the ticket.
Issa did it.
Right. I was like, that's the ticket. Someone's going to find me.
Yeah.
And she tells the story that when she got the intro email, like, this is Phylicia. You guys should connect. I think you'd work together. Her daughter, I had the YouTube link in my email signature. And her daughter watched the video, was like, Mommy, she's so funny. Can we watch it again and again and again and again? And that she was like, once my daughter signs off on something,
like kids don't lie.
They don't lie. And that's how I got my manager. Manager got me to my agent. Agent then helped me get Color Purple, and here we are today.
So, going back to like the YouTube comment. Okay, so it's kind of, Issa was kind of a diamond in the rough situation. Right. Like it's rare that people get picked up off of like social media like that. Got it. Okay.
Yeah. And I don't think I ever really quite knew that was going to be the path.
Yeah. But you needed something in.
Yeah, I needed something, and what it really taught me was like I got comfortable on camera. I got comfortable looking at myself on camera.
Yeah.
I learned how to edit. I learned like how to turn my face certain ways.
Right.
I learned how to like adjust lav sounds on mics.
That's what Sidney and I are experiencing right now. Like a few episodes ago, we were talking about like within our ties and offering, we do a tie and offering, like where we, give some motivational something. And one of the words of encouragement was to just put it out there because, that's where you get your practice. That's where you do get to like test out what do you look like on camera, like, your levels, your audio levels and whatnot. And then even editing, you just explore so many different options. So
that's incredible though. I think that it's telling of how much of a go-getter you are and how driven, and it was really by any means necessary. Any avenue.
Look, sure was. So you a pivoter, honey. A pivoter.
Those student loans had to get paid. I'm sorry. Like, what is the income? What is the income going to come from?
No, that's
we got to find a way.
No, that's right.
So after hearing about all of this and the many career shifts, something that we had spoken about in a previous episode was obviously the strike with SAG and WGA. So we were wondering, was there a project that you were working on during that time that was derailed? If so, what did you shift to, or how did you pivot for survival, and just how did you navigate the strike?
So I was working on Grease, Rise of the Pink Ladies, and
as a writer,
yes. And we were like actively working on getting me on season 2. As a role.
Where are we now with this? Is season 2 happening?
Okay, so talk about derailed. We actually ended up getting canceled and pulled off the platform. So they were very cruel to us during the strike. But luckily for us, we knew it was coming. So we kind of we just turned in the last script of season 2.
Okay.
I'm very grateful for the experience. I grew so much as a writer. And got to be more involved in the process, I felt like, this season. I felt like season 1 was kind of just getting my toes wet and really just being there as like a new writer to learn. I feel like this season 2, I really got to like step into a role of someone of a higher level, which was really great. And I think that strikes were timed so well because I think there was an influx and a pressure post-pandemic to like do a lot. And I think many people kind of welcomed the break. I know I did.
Got it. So y'all were overwhelmed at this point.
Yes, I think a lot of people were overwhelmed. And because the whole thing we're striking is a system of having to go from gig to gig to gig to gig. So you're tired. No one's taking a break. Yeah. No one's getting a vacation.
And the money is
and you're still like, where is the money? I'm working so hard.
Right.
So I actually traveled. First, I went back home to Silver Spring, to Maryland.
You were in LA at this point.
I was living in LA.
Okay.
Yes. Gave up the apartment I was subletting. I was like, I'm going to go away for a couple of months.
Okay.
I went back home to direct a summer camp that I used to work at when I was in college called Team of Stars. And it's a camp where middle school children that are, what's the best way to say it? I don't like saying low income. I don't like saying at risk. Underprivileged maybe, or like I always say like unseen, like they're just unseen children in the system.
Yeah.
They are taken for the summer because the parents probably can't afford like a summer camp, so they come to our camp for free or for a very low cost, and they write and put on their own musical.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah,
it's like a sleepaway camp, or
no,
like a day camp?
It's day camp.
Got it.
It's day camp. I was a camp counselor for 2 years when I was in college.
Yay.
And it's always meant so much to me. And it felt like a return to home, like being able to now run the camp.
Yeah, and give something back.
Yeah, and because I'd had the writing experience, I helped them write the show. But the kids are fantastic and really they were teaching me stuff. I was like, oh, okay, y'all know about story. Excuse me.
Head of your time.
Yeah, and then I went to Paris for like 3 weeks.
Oh, yeah, you got out of town.
Which was a very well, I'd been wanting since I like graduated school to like spend time in Paris.
And how long did you spend?
I was there for 3 weeks, and I would have stayed longer, but the Lion King asked me to come back.
I said, girl, please.
They asked me to come back, and it's such a blessing that is like my survival job. I can always return to the place that really helped me grow up, and I'm always so grateful when I get to go back. I feel like I come back with new eyes and like new intelligence of being in the world.
That's so
and
wonderful.
Yeah,
I love it. I love that.
Okay,
so now
I was just gonna ask, so were you're saying that you were actively for Paramount Plus working towards writing yourself into season 2 to be an actor as well as a writer?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Yes. I have the best boss. Her name's Annabelle Oakes, and I feel like I was hired in part because I was a theater performer and it was a musical TV show. So even in my meeting, she was like,
you get it.
If we can figure it out, we want you to be in the show.
So you were going to be in the show as well.
Yes.
Have
a role. Be cast in the show.
Talk
and
about
writer.
P. Diddy.
Yeah.
You're in it. You wrote it. You're filming it. That's awesome.
Then, the chips fell where they fell. Didn't get a chance to do it.
But But now, okay, so the strike happens. How long did you give the strike being in, full swing before you decided like, okay, I got to get out of town. I got to, make some moves. Like, were you there for a couple of months or a couple of weeks? How long did it take for you to realize this about to be something for a long haul?
We were convinced a month. We were like, a month break? Oh my God, that is so good.
Isn't that funny, the wave of emotions?
It was like, okay, we're on week 2. They're just not negotiating like we thought. There's no way. Okay, we're at month 2. This is probably going to take a little longer. And then once the actors joined, it was like, Jesus, okay.
Yeah. And Actors Equity almost joined because because the crew, like IATSE almost. Right. So then it was going to be like, even if we didn't really want to join, we would have been forced to join.
And even orchestra. The orchestra.
Like musicians were like,
a full industry strike.
Shut down.
Yeah.
I think
it really snowballed.
I was always going to do something like that.
Okay.
Like take a break.
Okay.
Especially knowing with Color Purple is coming out the end of the year. I was like, I think I just want to like relax before that happens. So but I think like
worked out.
The timing worked out, but I really think month 2 felt like a bigger call to action for people to like figure it out and like take care of yourselves. This is probably going to go a little longer.
Got it. Did a lot of people, because and from what I'm gathering, you did a good pivot. Like you came back to theater. Did other people find themselves feeling stuck? Like this is the only industry that, you know, I'm thriving in. There's nothing else I can do. Did some people go back to like, I don't know, maybe being a waitress or something in the food industry? Like, did you hear of any of these stories of how people pivoted and what direction did they go in? Or did they just not?
I mean, it's like both and. Some people were fortunate enough to not have to do that. I know some people did go back to survival jobs.
Okay.
I know some people were definitely doing like DoorDash. And I think that's where I would have been had it not been for Lion King. Because again, it's like the pay was a big part of the problem.
Yeah.
So you're looking at your accounts like, I've been working for 3 years consistently, and yet I don't have any savings. Like this is not right. But luckily those unions are so protective and so great that there were emergency funds if you needed them.
Oh, wonderful. Wow.
Yeah,
Okay, that's really good to
great.
know.
That's what your dues are going towards.
It's exactly what your dues are going towards. And we're in an industry where the 1% were in the same battle with us. Like I remember hearing, you know, different actors fighting for streaming rights and different actors fighting for more pay and less hours. So
that's when you know the needle is going to move.
Yeah. So if they're the ones like making the millions of dollars, still being like, I know my worth and I know this is going to affect me someone down the ladder.
Yeah.
So they were also like contributing money to the funds. Yeah. It was like really unifying and really beautiful.
Community based. I love that.
Out there on the front lines.
And that's right.
In the pickets, hot. NBC cut off those
Sweating.
trees. They said, we're still going to be here.
Sweat you out. That is crazy.
Yeah.
They really did do that.
Yeah. So you made the pivot. You were writing in LA. Then the strikes happened and you came back to theater.
Yes.
And then after that, had you filmed already The Color Purple?
Yeah, we finished that last
Okay. So you'd already had the
Yes.
on-screen experience. So question being, do you see any differences between like theater performance and on-screen performance? We asked a former guest, we had Adrienne Walker on as well, and she gave some nuggets about like just there are differences. So what differences did you experience between like going from theater to on-screen?
I think the biggest difference, especially with it being a musical, my instinct is to reach the back of the house, like but there is no back of the house on set. It's just you being very intimate with an inanimate object, but still having to evoke emotion. And not only evoke emotion, know that an audience is going to see it. So you have to be moved or they won't be moved. I feel like theater, the elements of like taking an audience on an imaginatory journey with you helps the audience be there with you. Or on film, you have to like paint the whole picture for them.
Correct.
So that was really a big difference. Just, I don't want to say scaling back my performance because it's still a big amount of work, but just being more intentional with how I was performing.
I like that.
And really using everything to inform the performance. Because unlike theater, sometimes theater, I don't know if you've ever seen a show where it's like cold on stage and you kind of feel like it's cold in here, or like I will feel that way. Like I'll have like phantom emotion, like phantom feeling. Like if it's like I've had people say they see Lion King and they feel hot while they're in the theater. Like I don't know if it's the lights or the sets, but they're like on the journey, like in it with you.
Yeah, like they're in the savannah.
Yeah, and an audience is not here with me, so I really had to play with water and be like, "Oh, I'm wet. Like I really feel it."
And what
or
does
like
that really
I'm
feel
really
like?
Hot, so an audience can like feel and empathize with me being really hot.
Got it.
Yeah.
Did that take a lot of like researching and well, obviously practicing? Would you practice in the mirror with it, or did you actually splash yourself?
Acting coach.
Girl, splash me in the face with water. Were there any moments like that?
Because it's like, yes. It's like,
yeah, I did it.
I wasn't gonna embarrass myself, so I was like, "What do I need to do?" I had an acting coach who really helped me, especially, and I'm so grateful we had to work on Zoom because of the pandemic. So it was like he'd be like, "What I'm seeing, the audience is literally gonna see that. It's not like you take it and do it."
Tool.
Yeah,
He's looking at you, what it would look like on screen.
He's like literally like when you look up
real
like
eyes.
here, an audience is just gonna see like this part of your eye, like look down, or like when you're trying to emote to a scene partner here, turn your face this way.
Right.
Yeah.
You might feel crazy, but an audience is gonna see the side of your face.
Oh, let me take that cue.
Yeah, you look at the eye closest to the person, the eye closest to the camera, the other person is where you should be looking.
Oh my God.
Instead of like this is Sidney's other eye, just look here.
Okay, so I'm going for your left eye.
Uh-huh.
Oh
God! It's the minute. That's what I have been learning and seeing and heard too. Is that like it's not even really about all this about your acting. It's a big part of it. Stage versus screen is like the efficiency with the camera. Because when you know that and you know how to hit your mark, you're efficient. It's quick because time is definitely money on those sets. So when you know those small things, minute, then really, and even just the excitement of like thinking like as an actor, like understanding all that and like knowing that like the tiniest thing is gonna change and look that way on the screen is like it makes the performance. But yeah, like there's the biggest difference that I feel like I notice is the exchange of energy is different because you're in a theater. So like, it's not even just that like somebody's there watching. It's like you're saying physically, like, cause we know when we have a show and the show, they be like, that audience is dead. Like, or the audience is so good. Like that really changes, like, not just because you want validation from the audience, but simply because like
energy.
If they're locked in and they're ready to go on the journey with you, then like, that's the spark of like why live theater, because if not, then why would we have live theater anymore? Like we would just have TV. Everything's tech. So why would we still have live theater if there wasn't like something to be gained from that exchange? But then there's what's to be gained from screen too, which is really cool. So.
Yeah. I'm interested to see how it translates when I do something that's like straight film and don't have like music or dancing or something. Like,
you think there'll be a difference?
I think so. I think I was gonna say like, well, a set is always a dead audience, but like this wasn't. It's always like quiet on set, and it's like everyone's like. But this wasn't because it's color
like
purple.
Moving parts.
Yeah, and there's
singing,
some musical parts. They're singing.
Yeah,
everyone came together because they love it. So like, you know, everyone's just so happy, and I'm so interested to see when it is like a, you know. Maybe I can do a Scorsese film. Like, what kind of set is that? You know, like,
now
where everyone's really
everyone
focused.
Quiet on set,
right?
Zoom.
Everyone being quiet.
It's you.
Yeah.
Wow, that's dope.
That is really, really cool. Yeah. So another question we have is, as a screenwriter, so back to the writing room, what is that like? How long is a day's work in a writing room? What does that look like? Bouncing off ideas, throwing stuff out there, brainstorming. How does that work?
So it was a learning curve for me because I had always written isolated, and I really like writing isolated. I like creating my own world and my own characters. You do a lot of work for free when you're a writer in the beginning. You're just writing your own stuff. And when you join a writer's room, it's like you and 10 other people kind of not just being there, but the main goal is to execute the vision of the showrunner and the creator of the show. And I was very fortunate to be in a room where my boss, again, really wanted to hear our ideas and allow us to bring our own personal experience to this, you know, piece of legacy work, which was Grease, because the whole reason they were doing it was to revamp it for a new generation. But yeah,
classic.
Yeah, it's almost like this. Like you're sitting with someone, you're talking, you're like, okay, in this episode, what do we want to see? What do we think would be fun? And it's like they say, okay, in this episode, Sidney's going to go to the mall. Okay, what is going to be a character-driven thing for Sidney? Like, where does Sidney have to begin and end? And if they're like, we need Sidney to leave the mall with nothing. Okay, so
how do you get there?
How and there's fun ways to get there, right? It's like Sidney walks in and she walks out. She realizes she doesn't have enough money. Or Sidney walks in, she goes to every single store and tries something on and then puts it on hold and then says she's going to go back. But then her mom calls her and she has to rush home because there's an emergency. Like that is kind of how you...
Nice.
Yeah, like that.
It reminds me of like those improv workshops where they give you a topic and there are ending to some story and then you got to fill in the blanks.
Yeah, I know a lot of writers do improv to get better at that skill of like coming up with ideas.
Yeah.
It feels like a regular 9-to-5 job. Like 9 to 5, 10 to 6 type hours. But
are y'all like eating in this moment, or you guys have set times to be creative? You take your break and come back and be creative, or is it more laid back? Like
It's more like the latter where it is like set time to be creative. You get a lunch break. You can always like, when we were in person, you could get up, go get a snack. Even on Zoom, you can get up, go get a snack, but you want to come back and really be focused and like honor the work that you're doing. And then take your break, come back. And you have like, there's like a timeline and a time limit. So you only have so many weeks to write so many episodes and to figure everything out. Yeah. And it was so great for me to learn. Creativity is a skill and I had to learn that. I feel like I thought it was like just a talent and like something fun. But there is a skill to being able to get your mind to tap into a creative space. And it really is just a skill of blocking out all of my own limiting beliefs and like blocks around something and just letting my mind flow.
Does that come with exercises? Here, when you said that, it immediately made me think about people who are drug users. So I've heard a lot of people in creative spaces, obviously they get a lot of their biggest inspiration when they're high on something. Remove the drugs. Are there exercises? Look, drug-free, dare people, please. There are other ways to tap into your creativity.
Come on, dare.
Are there any exercises like that kind of just ease your mind, or are there any rituals that you do to just get you in that space to just kind of let the world go and just be imaginative and be creative? Like, what would any exercises?
When it's myself, rituals? I walk.
Oh.
I think putting my mind's focus on my body lets my mind kind of like do whatever.
Okay.
Even walking here, I was having ideas and I was writing things down. I was like, oh, that's so interesting that popped up while I was walking. So I walk. Music is really helpful. And then I also say like affirmations and or prayers if I'm like going to like start a set time. I'm going to work for 2 hours. I'm like, just God, let it flow through me. Let it flow through me. Let it flow. What am I supposed like? I was like, what am I supposed to say? What am I supposed to say? I hope that it's clear. I hope that it meets the assignment. I hope that it is, you know, poignant. I hope that it moves the needle in some kind of way. What am I supposed to write? What am I supposed to write? Just unlock it for me.
Come on, use the Lord, not drugs.
Call him.
Come on.
Yeah, that's
praise
interesting.
The Lord.
I think I thought about it in such like a restrictive way, but I think all art forms kind of have that. Like if you're a performer and you have a opening night, you have a certain amount of time until you have to have it ready for that night, and it's never going to be perfect, but it's interesting to hear like what that looks like.
Yeah, and then sometimes I always think about the story of Lin-Manuel Miranda when he was writing the song "Wait for It" from Hamilton.
Yeah,
which this is now why it's my favorite song from that
wait
show.
Wait for it.
He was like on the train going to a friend's birthday party and got the inspiration at like on the train there, and he was like said to his friend like, I'm so sorry, I love you, I have to go write this song.
Word.
And it happens sometimes like that. I have been, my friends will know, at Elon there was a party I went to and I was like, I have an idea, and I had pulled out my journal and like started writing in a corner at the party, and they all made fun of me, and I was like, just wait till one day I make this show.
Hello.
Like, blah, blah, blah. And I'll be like, it will
Laugh
totally
to the
come.
bank.
Yeah, it'll come that way. I think we are vessels for something greater, and I think sometimes thoughts truly are not mine. I don't know where they're coming from. Ancestors, other people like speak to me, speak through me.
Yeah, I
totally believe that, and I just try to open myself as a channel.
I know that's right. And you always carry a journal around just
always.
in case.
I have three in my bag right now. Maybe because they're different things. Some are like my own personal thoughts. Okay. Some are like if I'm trying to manifest something, I will journal about that. And then another is just a creative space. Yeah.
I love that. So staying on the topic, and you mentioned Lin-Manuel and yourself being a performer, actor as well. Do you feel like it's an easier process for you to get into that creative space as a writer because you're in it? You know kind of what the audience responds to. Like, how do you think you would feel if you were just a writer? Do you think you have a little bit more of an advantage because you're an actor and performer, or?
I think I definitely have an advantage, but I also think to get to the space to be able to do both, I made myself okay if I could only do one. Like if I could only act, I think I would be so fulfilled and so happy. But because I know I would be so fulfilled and so happy when the writing thing comes, I'm like, oh, I meant to do that. Like there's the phrase oftentimes people say, if you can do anything else, like if you want to be an artist, you can do anything else, do that. Yeah. I do not agree. I think if you want to be an artist, do literally everything that you can, because I think it will keep calling you. Yeah. And then you will know. And all those skills that you learned will inform your work. Yeah. That's what I believe.
Amen.
I said that on episode before. I was like, did I say it? I think I said it in a Q&A or something I had done. Okay. And I was like, yeah, because I was doing Q&As when I went home not so long ago, and I was like, I don't subscribe to that. I think if you could do something else, like do all of it. Like you don't have to. If you can imagine yourself, that just means you're multifaceted, and you can do. I think like there's a viral like video going around by Victoria Monet, and it was like something about like right.
Okay. You know the dance.
That dance, But yeah, she's like, I think the greatest weakness of multifaceted artists is like to not explore all of it.
Yes.
I saw that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like you should do all of it like that.
Yeah.
That's
the point of being creative.
Right.
Yes. We don't have On My Mama if she did not spend time like songwriting.
Right.
If she was just like, I want to be a singer, I want to be a singer. And now she can be a singer and control the narrative around her and control the work she's doing.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't have
I'm curious about her because she can dance too. I'm like,
dance.
which one came first, honey? The chicken or the egg? Because you're killing it all.
Right. I just don't believe in anything limiting. So I believe that we are all, to quote my favorite show, Wicked, unlimited. So,
So now I am really curious because you did say at one point you were writing for the Grease remake and you were potentially going to be a performer. Do you think that was going to be an overwhelming experience where you kind of got to lock in on two different professions, or what do you think?
I just know it didn't work out for a reason. I don't quite know what that reason was. But maybe knowing myself, I would have been like to the other actors, like, can you say your line a little differently? Like in the room, we kind of just talked about this. Like, do you? And if I didn't do that,
don't
I'd
give
be
an
like,
actor a note.
Right, I'd be like, it's not what I thought when I was writing it.
Right.
So I think maybe there's some
might
kind
have been
of
a lot of that
protection happening there, and like I still get to live in the magic of writing.
Yeah.
And not having to be in the in the weeds of like how a set works on the project that I wrote. So it's still very special to me as a writer. It's my first writing job. Yeah. I'm glad I get to keep it as its own self over there. And it just gave me the training ground. So when I do write my own project, and it is mine, right? I'm not like a vessel for someone else's project. It's like what I want to do. Then I think I'm excited to see what that brings out of me. Like if I am going to be someone who's like type A and like is everywhere, if I'm gonna be like lay in the back and be like, well, I know what the scripts are, so it's just gonna be
got it in the bag.
Right. Yeah.
Come on, I love it.
So we touched on this a little bit before, but I was wondering about the screenwriting process of training. So it seems like you kind of got your start on your own, but how did that happen as far as like building that? Obviously you had feedback from those competitions and pitch, projects that you were submitting to, but was there any formal training? And then what was like the networking like after that process?
I took one course at Elon for writing for TV and film. And the professor had written August Rush, the movie.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember August Rush, but it was a little boy, like a violin prodigy. And that was really cool because that story is about his nephew. So just to like hearing that is connective tissue, like he took something from his life and then wrote about it. I was like, okay, I could probably do that too. Yeah. And in that course, you had to go through the different stages of like an idea and then a log line, which is like a one sentence, basically summarizing your piece, and then an outline of like the different beats that you want to tell. And then I think that's where we stopped in the course. And then Shonda Rhimes actually put out Masterclass on the Masterclass. I think it was one of the first ones, and I did that like 4 times. Like I just like kept watching it and kept watching it. Yeah, and very lucky to have that because she also gave the what's called a Bible, where it's like you have the premise of the show, plot beats, character descriptions, why you want to tell the story. She gave that for Grey's Anatomy. I already at the time I'd see Grey's Anatomy like twice through. This is before they got to like season.
How in the world? Because they have 359
but
seasons.
This was before, so this is like they're on like season 9 or 10.
Oh,
so
that's still a lot.
Yeah, and I love Grey's Anatomy, and I love Shonda Rhimes. Shonda Rhimes, if you're watching this, one day will see this.
Yes, she will. Come on.
She understands story structure like no one else. And I would actually sit with friends and have them, I would like sit as they watched Grey's Anatomy because I was like, just wait till you see what comes. She's so good. I loved Scandal. So, and because I just watched those shows so many times, when she was talking about the writing process, I knew exactly. Yes, I knew exactly what she was. I was like, oh yeah, at the end of Act 3, it's always like a big boom, boom, boom moment. That's so because like they puncture the heart and it's like the blood goes everywhere, and that's the end of Act 3. It's a big moment.
Yeah.
And then at the end of Act 4, they like reconcile, but it's like not quite there yet. And at the end of Act 5, they do reconcile for real, but someone like gives an eye to the camera where you know that like we're gonna have another episode.
Happening.
Right.
Like, not somebody break and look at the camera.
Someone's like looking down. They're like hugging, but like looking down.
Right.
You're like,
something's right.
Okay.
And that even goes back to efficiency with with the camera, or like her understanding of story, and then translating that to like, how am I going to show watchers, how am I going to show viewers like this isn't quite done. Like, you don't want to say it's a soap opera because it's not a soap opera, but it has that structure. That's why it has 20 something seasons,
right?
Because it's like it is. If you look at it, you can tell like it's like Grey's Anatomy is funny too, because I've picked up where I left off recently, and it's
which
like
one, 300?
I think I'm on season like 12, but it's so funny because when somebody comes in with like a seemingly light injury and it's like the funny like boppy music, it's gonna be devastating. And then it comes in when it comes in serious, it's probably gonna be like restored and everything's but it comes in seemingly nothing, and then also how the stuff with the surgery normally coincides with the lives of people who are going through.
Yes,
and it's like parallels, and like you couldn't save this and y'all couldn't save your marriage, and like oh,
and it's like these two characters are divorced, and the reason she's in the hospital is because the husband like took his car and like drove and got into an accident, and at the same time Derek and Meredith are like, we should stop doing this. And they see this couple fighting, and they realize they should stay together. Like, it's so brilliant.
It's life, honey. Drama.
Yes,
it's
so
crazy.
It is.
I went to the Shonda Rhimes School of Screenwriting.
Okay. Yes, you did.
And then just like Googling and YouTubing, like, okay, when I did that pitch competition, I was like, how to write a pitch. And that same friend who helped introduce me to my manager, like also talked me through like pitching. Like, this is what you do. And I would just call upon any resource, whether it was a person or just online. I would look at different pilots that I would Google. Like, I've read the Insecure pilot so many times, or the Mindy Project pilot so many times, and would just sit with like a pen and like analyze different things. And what was interesting about that is streaming was like becoming bigger, so a lot of these shows didn't have actual act breaks where they write like act 1 and then start. I would take a show like Mindy Project that had that written in act 1 and take a show like Insecure and be like, okay, so where do I think this act 1 is happening? Like, where do I think the end of act 1 is happening, which is like they just say like what the episode's going to be about. And I would like find it myself. So I was like teaching myself. I feel like you learn by doing, so it's almost like I was breaking a script backwards.
Deconstructing.
I was deconstructing scripts on my own, and then just YouTube. There's so much stuff on YouTube. Anyone would do like a webinar, a Q&A. I would like get on it and see what the questions are going to be asked. I feel like I Googled like how to write a pilot so many times, and then there were things on like Medium, or there was one thing I would read too a lot. I would watch like different people's interviews on like, how did you come up with this story? Like, how'd you write it? What's your process? So I just became like a sponge. It was just like trying to find the info. And it is also funny because I was going to leave Lion King. I think part of the reason I left Lion King was to go back to school for screenwriting. And then just made my own version of school and still got paid with Lion King to do it. So, and grateful I was a swing, because it was like, oh, when I wasn't performing, I had the time to like look at something and read something. I had books, articles, just like anything and everything. I would take it.
So it was a little bit of both, honestly. Taking advantage of that, especially masterclass, I've heard that is a great like resource.
So it should be like a subscription based thing, because you really do get a lot out of it.
And then the networking piece of it, I feel, I think came in at a time where a lot of actors were kind of like, should we be writing our own stuff? So it was many different people, and not even just actors, like different directors and friends that were, Issa says network across. So anyone that I met that was like, oh, I think I want to like produce something. Okay, like we should like stay in touch. And I still have some of those friends to this day where a friend will be like, oh, there's someone I know who like directs. She's like an assistant on this documentary. Like, you should like have coffee. And,
that is so dope.
And I normally would never, but I was like, I just want to like learn and know what it's like to now do a documentary. And I'm like thinking like, oh, should I do a documentary now?
Yes, you should.
Yeah. And then just grateful I had the team come in when they came in after and like a lot of my samples for them were bad, but they were just like, we see that you can like write. And now they kind of do the networking piece for me, which is very nice.
That sounds lovely. It doesn't sound as intimidating, because when you think of Hollywood, you think of it being just very network based. It's who you know, and kind of like boy and girls club kind of structure. But that's really great to see that people are kind of stepping outside, so everyone's kind of vulnerable in this moment and just having something to learn, so they give a little bit of grace. That's awesome. That's
I think
so
I think because things are becoming accessible, like getting in is still difficult, and I hope to one day like be a way for people to find a new way in. But I think as things are becoming more accessible, we're seeing that like Sidney could be sitting across from me and do one video on TikTok and she gets a show offer. Like it can happen that fast, you know, and it can happen that randomly. It can happen for anyone at any time. Yeah. And I think people are seeing that and being like, actually, we need to like humanize each other a bit more. And people from all walks of life are getting into the industry.
So people are actually like going on social media, like really almost scouting the internet for people.
I think so.
Okay.
I'm not quite sure. I mean, I think so. I think that maybe we might have moved past that a little bit. I think they're trying to maybe bring it back to form.
Oh, okay.
Because I think we like the pandemic really got carried away with like who's famous, who's this, and it's like, and then you see people who aren't ready for it,
right?
Who haven't done things, and then what happens to them?
Yeah.
Because that is part of the Hollywood machine. You know, sometimes you make someone into something, and they don't have the tools necessary.
Right. That is when it's necessary to kind of have the experience, or you know, at least the educational aspect of like just knowing what you're doing.
And I don't consider anything to be networking. I do not like the word networking.
Okay.
I do not like to network. So if it's like you should get a coffee with someone, I'm like, let's get a coffee.
Yeah,
like, go
keep it casual.
I'm gonna ask you about your life. So where are you from? What's your trauma? Like,
let's
go.
Yeah,
let's get deep.
It's a total experience. Yeah, because that's how you connect.
Right. And I don't know if I want to work with you or you want to work with me if you don't know me. Because I don't think that I'm separate from my work. I think
could you work with someone you don't like?
Yeah, I think I figured out how to do it. I would find a reason to like them.
Got it.
I would find,
be
like, yeah, let's figure out. We're gonna find.
I like your shirt. I got you're good.
Yeah. Okay. You shop at Forever 21 like me. Okay.
Praise God. We're the same person.
Yes.
Oh, that's amazing. Okay, now the moment we've been waiting for. We got our purple on.
Yes.
Now we talked about your writing. We talked about your theater, the pivoting, your education. Let's talk color purple.
Yeah.
So just, briefly, I know you've been on a lot of you're on a press tour right now. So a lot of people have heard your voice. A lot of people have, seen your face, and you've talked a lot about this project, and we can't wait to see it. Coming out December 25th, Christmas Day. Being on set, what were any unexpected challenges that came about, or any unexpected joys, like things that you it was like, oh my God, I didn't expect this to happen, but this was great. Challenges, joys.
Let's start with joy.
Yeah.
I think of something for challenge. Joy was connecting with the cast.
I'm glad you don't have anything on the mind, the forefront
I really
for
don't.
a challenge.
I
That's really good
And
news.
it's so funny. The challenge I'm thinking of, we'll just go to the challenge I was thinking of was, I didn't get a lot of help because I was apparently so good. And I would be like, okay, so
that
what do you mean?
Into a joy.
Right? Like, what do you mean? And they'd be like, you don't need help. You got it. And I was like, no, I don't. What? No. Like, literally, what is a mark? Where do I go? Like, I don't know how any of this works. So that was a challenge. Like, when you're at that level and working with those people at that level, they are used to professionals who come on, who just know how to work a set. And I did not know how to work a set.
Apparently you did.
But even the personal aspect of it, I didn't know how to take time for myself. I didn't know how to carve out boundaries.
Oh, wow. And you have to in these
You have
moments.
to, yeah, because everyone is so excited, and it's really, really special that I call myself like the people's pearl, because it's like people see me and they're like, she did it, we can do it too. So like extras would be like, wait, this is your first film? Can we get a picture? Can I talk to you? And I always want to do it, but I would be like in the middle of doing like a dramatic scene. So it'd be like, oh, I can't like be taking selfies. Oh, sorry. And then try to get back into character. It's just not going to work. So trying to balance being Phylicia and being the character at the same time was a challenge. And then, yes, back to the joy was just connecting with the cast. They are amazing. And so much of filming it's isolated. It's not like theater where you sit in a room together and spend 10 hours a day in rehearsal and then you put it up and you're
so you guys like
together.
hardly see each other.
That is
unless you're in a scene with them.
Unless you're in a scene, you would hardly see each other. But I would go to set every day when I could, when I wasn't filming.
Oh, you're such a good pupil. God, I love you. You're really gonna take off.
And that's back to that African mom being like, you're gonna be great. I just am like, I study.
You're gonna be a director now. Look. Let you get into space, honey. You're gonna take it over. I love that.
I now welcome that. Before people be like, you should direct, I'd be like, I don't know what directing is. And now that I've seen it, I'm like, okay, it's just having a vision.
Yes.
And then learning what to do with the elements.
Right. How to convey that to somebody.
Yeah. Even I would sit at the director's chair and he would be explaining things like, the camera's gonna do this because I wanted to evoke that. I was like, okay, that's so cool.
Yeah.
So just an unexpected joy was how open the set was. Because it's really people at the top of their game. You expect it's like, you hear like they film their scenes and go home, and they do this and go home, and time is money. So you think it's like, they're not going to want to spend time explaining to me what this flag is for. And they did, like at every turn. I think for them, when you're at that level, it's exciting. It's nice to have someone who's still excited, because a lot of it becomes very robotic.
Right. And just mundane almost.
Yeah. And I was just everything I was in awe of, like, oh my God, the water. How is the water rolling? And they were like, because it's a river. Okay. Got it.
But still, they didn't like dumb you down with it. They just explained it.
Yeah, I'd be like, what's the meaning behind this costume? And they're like, Hallie just looks nice in yellow, so we're gonna go with the yellow dress.
Simple as that.
And you're like, oh, okay. Or sometimes it would be yellow invokes the sun and this. And I'm just like, okay, that's really cool.
Yeah, it means something.
Yeah. Or like, I wear pink in it.
Okay.
And our director talked a lot about, it's a period piece, and people think in period pieces in the photos they see, and all those photos are like sepia tone, they're brown, they're gray,
got a stain to it.
And he was adamant we're gonna see the film as our characters saw themselves at that time, so they would be wearing the pinks and the yellows and just like different
something
fabrics.
muted.
Yeah. So that was, I would have never thought of like, to like tap into what they would see versus what we normally
imagine.
What we imagine. Yeah.
Oh my
Interesting.
gosh, the power of the human mind. I swear.
Crazy.
We are so excited to see it.
Thanks. I'm excited for everyone to see it, especially Lion King people, because this was something I'd just be walking around like, I'm gonna be on film, I'm gonna work with Oprah,
Big deal.
And sometimes I get it. I was annoyed.
No.
With my little laptop in a corner, like, I'm busy writing. Like,
No,
I'm in my office
girl.
now, excuse me. I literally would find a corner, and it would be Felicia's office. You don't disturb her. Like, I am a stage management new. If you need me, you can text me. I'm in my office.
No, you need that time.
Yeah.
No, I love that. I love that you're excited about it, and you're not just like, oh yeah, I did this film, so you know what I mean? Like,
no, yeah,
you're so like energetic and excited and proud. Like you should be.
Yeah. The second I'm not excited, it means I need to
get out of that
step
industry.
Away. Yeah, I need to step away.
Yeah.
I want to always be excited about everything.
Absolutely, 100%.
So we know you've already done this iconic, legendary remake of The Color Purple. Do you have anything in the forefront or things like long term that you are hoping for, like dream role or another dream show or like movie? I mean, you mentioned Scorsese, but like anything like that or like direct anything, just bigger. Yes. Dreams.
Well, I'm just excited to see what the doors open after this comes out. And that is very unlike me. I'm very much like, I want this thing. I'm going to get this thing. I've actually released some dreams, which I feel excited about. I really wanted to be Elphaba on Broadway. Like, it was like the only thing that I wanted to do. And I worked really hard and I got my voice together. And I was like, I could totally sing this. And once I like knew I could do it, I was like, if it doesn't happen, I think that's okay. I think, the universe, God has other plans for me. If it does happen, fantastic. If it doesn't, that's fine.
That actually makes me think about what you recently posted, maybe a few days ago. You do this thing where you like read off, I don't know, like his
the dream cards.
Dream cards. Yeah, and one of the messages that I walked away with was sometimes you do have to like deconstruct or like demolish some stuff or let some stuff go in order to make space for some other opportunities. Yes. So that's what you're doing.
Yeah, but I want to play Viola Davis's daughter. Come on. I always get told I favor her. And to go toe to toe with the great, come on. I would love to do that. You
talk about getting some nuggets, some wisdom.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, and what she'd bring out of me as a performer. I think that's what I'm really looking forward to next, because filming this, I was in a bubble with Halle Bailey, and she is fantastic. She's so good. And I just want to see like, okay, so I had to work with someone who brought out the side of joy in me and like vulnerability in me. So like what else is another performer going to bring out of me? And that's what I'm excited. Yeah. And the thing about dream role is I really think I might have to write it for myself.
Okay.
Yeah. I think some things haven't panned out because the universe is like, you're gonna create it. You're gonna create it first, like, or be the first to do it.
Right.
There's some things that I've seen like articles about. They're like, that could be fun. But I'm just open right now.
Like, what do you mean? Like putting you in, like casting you? Because I know people do that. They'll be like, dream cast for Hercules. Like, I want this one, that one, that one, that one.
Oh, we're like not there. Someone put me in a dream cast of something. I want to be. I want to be in those things. I just meant like, so there's like a film, Children of Blood and Bone, that's finally going to be made, and I loved that book. So like, that could be really nice.
Yeah.
And Pharrell has a musical movie coming out. Like that could be nice. Princess Tiana would be so
coming
nice.
out.
Like there are things that are out there, but I know what's gonna land is gonna be
Amen.
right.
I love that because off camera, I always hear you talking about like manifesting things, and you said you manifested this opportunity, and I just amazing. This is amazing. Like you're the people's,
The people's pearl.
the people's pearl. Like, oh, I love that. Well, this has been amazing. We have passed the interview process, girl. We're about to get into a game time.
Yeah,
you ready to play a game?
I'm very competitive, so I apologize in advance.
No, no. And I've actually witnessed this. You are super competitive.
Oh my god, at the baby shower.
Oh my god.
That was just not a good moment for me. The rules weren't clear. The rules weren't clear.
It's so like there was no prize, no car waiting out back.
It was like
you like, forget it. I love it. So okay, let's get into a game. Okay, so I actually didn't even tell you this. We are switching gears. No, yes I did. I did tell you this. We're switching gears with we're still playing a music game. But just playing it differently. So in the past, we would pull a genre out of a bowl and we would hum it. And then you have to guess, whatever the person's humming. What was the last one? What was the last type of game we were playing?
It was music theater, I think, like musical theater songs.
But then we have to we had to finish the lyric.
Right.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
The second go round, we had to finish the lyric. So today, I'm just going to sensibly read out the lyrics to a song.
Okay.
And you have to guess what song it is and who's the artist.
Jesus.
Okay?
Just speak to me, Lord.
We'll do 2 rounds.
Please just come through me. Okay.
So we'll do this to start, and then I'm going to have you pick your favorite genre, and we'll select from there. Okay? You ready? Okay.
Wait, is this again? Are we fighting for this, or it's just her?
Oh, it's just her.
Okay.
Not fighting.
Sidney
okay.
was ready. I know.
So now she said she's competitive. You want to fight? Okay, great.
I'm just saying. I thought we were doing it because she's competitive.
This is great. We're being very spontaneous. Let's do that. The first person to guess wins. Okay, because actually, you're right. Sidney doesn't know the song that I'm about to read off.
I do. No.
Praise be. Okay, great. Okay. Let's just add it on as we go. Okay, here goes. Ready? I don't even know how to. You know when you hear rhythm so long you can't even
song along.
Say it. Okay. I scribble X and O's in my notebook, checking how my hair and my nails look. I feel myself in a
Fantasia
zone.
when I see you.
Yeah. Phylicia
You know
Pearl
what happened?
Mpasi.
You know what happened? I was going, no, in my notebook. No. And I was like singing it, and I was like,
I want you to X and O's.
But we need a buzzer. That's right, Fantasia.
Fantasia, I'm sorry, girl. You know I love you.
Come on. All right, so since you didn't get that, now we're going to go ahead and try to customize.
But now you pick the genre.
You pick the genre.
Okay. Let's do Broadway.
On Broadway.
On Broadway.
Okay. Quick break. Sidney, find a song on Broadway.
Because you're not like a big Broadway girl, right? Or are you?
No.
You're not? Okay.
I know I'm not. I'm just a dancer. Child.
But it's for y'all. Okay, let me see.
Oh, no. I'm playing this too. Damn, golly, I'm going to lose. See, now I'll
Yeah.
let you redeem yourself. I might know it, though, because the last one I kind of knew.
Yeah.
I've been
And how do you
saying
go
it,
to the
child.
second verse? That's so rude.
Well, you were going to get the first. Everybody know the first verse. Got to make it mysterious and competitive.
Oh, I have to do one where the words
You
aren't
are a
in.
Broadway girl. Like, you know all the songs, don't you? Okay. All right.
Okay, I hope this doesn't
Praise
play
me.
out
Let me
loud.
send it.
When I immerse, well, not all
Okay.
the songs. I try to, but
Well, the shows, like the big hit songs and shows.
Okay.
yeah, there are some I don't. Surprisingly, because
Yeah?
I'm like a classic music theater. I love classical.
Yeah, you're cute. I love
Okay.
you.
I
Ready?
won't get this, and I'm gonna lose. I'm scared.
No, girl.
You're probably gonna get it.
Okay.
Don't do that.
I'm
You
gonna
know, hang up.
No, I'm gonna try to do a part that has a hint in it. Not the song title, but it has a hint.
Okay.
Okay, ready? I'm erasing myself from the narrative.
Us burn Hamilton.
Nah.
Which wait, now I'm like, wait. Oh, and I was like, is she putting
She
herself
couldn't
back
even
in the
get out
narrative?
3 words.
But that is ironic. It's like my favorite phrase in the whole
I shouldn't
musical.
have done Hamilton. You did mention
Is-
it earlier.
I'm not a big like, but erasing myself from the narrative to me is like the most powerful words in the entire
musical. But the fact that he even wrote that because she didn't say anything. They're not, so he just made it up to say like, she never said like, I'm erasing myself. She just didn't say anything. So he was like, oh, she must have been like, I'm not saying nothing. I'm erasing myself. His mind.
Right?
It's his mind. Because I would be like, oh my gosh, she didn't say anything. What do I say that she said?
Right.
Say that she said.
She's
not saying anything.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's just too good. I'm not really, but about Hamilton, some of that stuff in Hamilton gets me.
It
does get me. Hits. He's very thoughtful. I love that.
Sure very.
Well, praise God, you done survived the game.
I did.
Come on.
Should have been 2 out of 2, but I'll take
do
1
one
out of
more
2.
round.
Okay,
yeah, you want to? Listen, you want to play all day?
Okay, you pick the genre.
I got to pick the genre?
You pick.
Okay, we already did R&B.
Don't get me on gospel now.
Nah, I was just about to say
Or you could do a popular one because I'm Catholic, so it's very over here. It's hymns or like some Kirk.
You ain't gonna know Kirk.
I will. I'll know the hits.
Okay, no. Let's not do gospel.
Take the shackles off my feet so I can be
All right, let's do gospel then.
I just want to praise
Okay,
you.
let's see. I just want to praise him.
I know. Now I'm interested to hear how you gonna say it.
I just want to praise him. That is too funny. Today's a new day. Where are my blue skies?
Brighter day.
Kirk Franklin.
Yes, but you were wrong.
Today's a new day.
Blessing in the storm.
Sunshine.
I
never knew I could be so happy.
But a power I can't explain fell from heaven like a shower. When I think how much better I'm gonna be when this is over.
Hey. That's that one.
Stomp.
Let's see this. Today's a new day, and there is no sunshine, nothing but clouds, and it's dark in my heart.
I know this
and it
song.
feels like a night.
It's something like morning or like sunshine or
Good morning, sunshine.
oh my gosh, I can hear the
It's
song.
not today's a new day. That's it? That's the melody. Okay. So
No.
what song is that?
Today's a new day. That is it.
That's it. That's
So
the name of the
let's
song.
get to the chorus. No.
Today's a new day,
Just sing it out.
and there is no sunshine.
How great?
No.
And I praise. No.
You're close.
It's at the tip of my tongue.
Just want to praise you. That's shackles. Take the shackles off.
Just want to pray.
It's the confidence. I just want to praise you.
It was stomp.
Oh my God! It's at the tip of my tongue. I know it's Kirk Franklin and the Family.
Do you give up?
I give it up. That's not how Brighter Day starts.
That's the title.
Because you love me, grateful.
Praise God. I don't know. I give up.
I smile.
I smile.
Even though it hurts.
I know it's something simple.
Yeah, y'all were close. It does kind of have the same bounce as Brighter Day, so I can see
Day.
that.
Yeah.
That melody.
Yeah.
Brighter Day, Brighter Day.
Okay.
You could really do
You
like
could do
a
a
mashup.
mashup. Yeah,
That would be
Y'all
cute.
better be
on that.
creative
Same
right
producer,
here.
same songwriter, same.
Listen.
You were the one who said
Listen.
Kirk. Popular. Okay.
I love it.
I
Okay.
smile.
Yay! That was fun.
Yes.
Thank you so much for taking the time, being in studio. She's our second in studio guest.
Yes.
I mean, big
setup.
deal.
I love it.
Yes, thank you for sharing your experience, your wisdom. I am excited to see your future. It is so bright because you're so open to it. I love your message about just manifestation. Like, it is so real. The more, you put positive thinking forward, you can really bring something to life. So, Phylicia Pearl, I love you. The people's girl.
Thank you for having me.
Get out to theaters Christmas Day to catch Phylicia in The Color Purple,
And wear your purple. Come on.
where everybody wear your purple.
Auntie
be like
Oprah
me.
told
Wear your
us,
purple.
listen, you
Don't
got
be
it on
like
your
me.
nails.
right.
It's in your spirit.
To remind them that I wore red.
Listen. Okay, this was amazing. Thank you. She's about to get out of here. We're just going to quickly do a little wrap up and we'll get out of here too. So thank you, Phylicia Pearl.
Yes, thank you so much.
Whew, that was too good.
What?
She was incredible. And the thing that I really loved was seemed so small, but like just that stuff about her life, even pre-movie and all the opportunities.
Like getting to learn who she is.
We've never connected in that way, or like I've never been around her for a long period of time to know like who she is, where she's like, it's always just been quick in and out. Yeah. Obviously, all the stuff she does and is a part of, which
and
is
she's
incredible.
done a lot
Already. So much.
She is like a true Renaissance woman.
Yeah.
Like, she is a jack of some trades, honey, and mastering them.
Yes.
Like, I just love how she's like a sponge. She just absorbs every ounce of information and knowledge that she can,
and doesn't wait around for somebody to open. Like, she's submitted, she's Googling,
but she's not even overbearing about it either. She's just like inquisitive.
Yeah,
you know?
I Googled and I just searched and I just found this and I tried it. Like, it doesn't have to be that deep.
She almost sounds self-made. Like, she kind of got herself in the door. Like, that's really dope. So, like I told her and when she was here, like, her future is just so bright. Like, she already has such a great opportunity with this project, The Color Purple. I can't wait to see it. I'm gonna wear my purple. I might wear the same little outfit. Look, because I realized I don't have a lot of purple in my wardrobe.
I thought I was gonna have to buy something. And even that, I like that tone a little better than this. It's a little more wine, so I'm like, I might have to get something new. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, get your little performance. Matter of fact, maybe I should get something new too, because Loki is kind of giving summer, and we're in winter.
No,
and I want to have an excuse.
So. Okay, you want the excuse is different. Okay, so you taking it, dragging it.
Yes. So that was so fun. It was so much fun just talking to her. She's such a great conversationalist. I found myself like, well, dang, you didn't answer the question before I could even.
I know.
Natural. Just naturally.
Press tour is
done some... Yeah, she has just a very organic way of explaining her experience without, it being so robotic. So it was so much fun. We done played this game. She was super fun. She said she's competitive. She was good.
We had a good time.
Yeah. So, yes, thank you again to Phylicia Pearl Mpasi for being with us in studio and sharing her wisdom, her knowledge, her experience, and to take the time. She's in the middle right now of a press tour for The Color Purple. Yeah. So, for her to take that time really means a lot to us. Yeah, so thank you so much to her. It's so good to see you, Sidney.
So good to see you. So good to see y'all.
Yes.
Thank you for tuning in and for...
Don't forget to go see The Color Purple December 25th in a theater near you. Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Wear purple.
Like Oprah said.
Yeah.
Oprah said.
Auntie Oprah said, so we going to go on and do it. Okay.
Alrighty, don't forget to follow us on all our socials.
Yes.
We got Instagram, TikTok. We also have our YouTube channel. Don't forget to hit that bell and subscribe to get a notification every time that we post.
That's right. And always remember, guys, continue to make your stage cues, but always remain social. I am India.
And I'm Sidney.
We'll see you next time.
Bye. Social Cues is hosted by India Brown and Sidney Wilson. Produced by Dale Brown and music by Isaiah Young.
Find us on social media at Social Q 2023 on Instagram and Social Cues 2023 on TikTok.
Don't forget to subscribe to our page and follow us for notifications of new episodes.
Until next time.